Hey, what's up, everyone? Myself, Fredo Cervantes. Welcome to the LA Sparks Weekly Postgame Show after the Phoenix Mercury put it into the LA Sparks again. 78-72. Phoenix comes up on top, and LA currently riding a 5-game losing streak. But I'm not here by myself in studio at the Infanity Studios here in Los Angeles. I got the one and only DJ
Tricey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me again. It's great to be back. And Fredo, yes, that was a pretty devastating loss for us on a 5-game losing streak.
Yes.
But, of course, I'm going to talk about some positive things.
Of course.
We shouldn't be the dead horse here, but what were some things that you saw in the game that really contributed to our loss today?
I mean, things that contributed to the loss was just the young guards. You know, that's one of the things I was able to talk to Coach about. Just some of the young guards were just not able to knock down their shots. You know, even Coach mentioned this game came down to a 1-possession game under a minute. So anything like that, it's anyone's ball game at that point. But when the guards are shooting 3 for 17 from the field, and even some I forgot who it was. It was Jasmine Thomas. She was also 4 for 9 from the field, and De'Erica Hamby. I mean, that is another one. It's like it keeps happening every single day. Carly Samuelson out for the last 2 games. Lexi Brown out for the last 8 games. And you just keep losing. And but there are some good signs. Clarendon is looking more positive right now. Trending towards the right direction, like Coach said, and as well as Lexi. Yeah. So once we get those 2 back, this team is gonna look a lot different. But you saw a lot of good things on the defensive side of the ball.
I did see a lot of good things on the defensive side. They really held Sophie Cunningham to a limited amount of points as well as a limited amount of defensive impact. Yes. Usually, Sophie can get hot and be that kind of sleeper player for the Mercury that kind of comes in and gets hot late. They really held her down defensively. But another thing that you talked about was, Laisha being out and then De'Erica now going down. At what point do we not talk about the refs? And the calls that we're getting and the physicality of play, because we're not really protecting our players at all here. It seems like we're getting slapped around. We constantly have these incidental injuries. Like, are we going to have that discussion about the officiating?
I mean, we need to, because we noticed that the injury that happened with Carly Samuelson, she's on the floor every game. And at times there's no fouls being called. There's nothing like that. And, over the last few games, I've had a pretty front row seat at Crypto. So I've seen a lot of the physicality that's going down there, especially in the paint. And there's no whistle being blown. At times I feel like I keep my mouth shut down there, but I feel like, come on, ref, you got to blow the whistle once in a while or something. They'll probably kick me out if I start talking to the ref and stuff. But I'm pretty sure Coach might like it, because he might be like, hey, thanks, Fredo, thanks for letting the coach know, because I see Coach out there on the sideline screaming his head off all the time. And it's like, I'm pretty sure Coach he's putting his team in the right position to succeed. It's just up to the players to make those shots, because the coach can just do so much to one point. And, right now, as the team is riding a 5-game losing streak, I don't want to predict this, but it might be a 6-game losing streak, because they're facing Las Vegas on Wednesday night at Crypto.com. But if they are able to get Carly Samuelson back for that game, and if they get De'Erica back and healthy for that game, they might be able to challenge Las Vegas, especially because maybe all the Vegas girls right now, they're like, oh, well, this is our last game. Let's just kick our feet up. Before the All-Star break. They might go out on Tuesday night. Who knows? Or they might have some plans ready for Wednesday night. So they might not be fully in the game. But I know that Coach will get his players and troops together and focus to try to steal that game at Crypto on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and taking a page out of Michael's book, right? Mm-hmm. The rookies got a lot of play tonight. Yes. Zaya got a lot of minutes, not a lot of production. Destiny got some minutes, not a whole lot of production. But what I did see that Zaya did really well was pass. Mm-hmm. So she wasn't forcing the shot as much, and she passed. She gave a couple dimes to NECA in the paint, Mm-hmm. So I feel like the rookies are really starting to find their stride and be a little bit more patient in the game. So that's another win that
it is, and especially looking at that Zaya situation, because this is the moment that she really needs to take advantage of, because at any young player in any type of sport, when your other person that's taking that starting spot, they go down, this is like, okay, this is your time to shine, next player up. And Zaya has been she's aggressive, she's not afraid of the moment, it seems like. It's just she needs to, I see her on the court though, and she's making those shots. So, the difference about it is, like, during practice, they say some players make the shots they can't miss. But when it comes to the game, they tend to not make them as much as they do during practice. And I've seen that on Zaya. So I'm like wondering, what can she do differently? Is it like more of a mental situation? Is that just more of, the pressure is a lot brighter at that point? But, hopefully with her 1 for 10 shooting tonight, which is not too great. You really didn't see, though, that, if we don't tell you that, if you just watched the game, you maybe would not have really posted that out there and said, oh, she was 1 for 10. No, because she was very good out there.
Yeah.
And she gave it all her, 21 points tonight. So
yeah, she had over 20 minutes.
21 minutes.
Yeah, but it was also, too, those veterans filled in those gaps. So you had Jazz Thomas finding her shot. It feels, I'm so happy for her to finally come off of that injury and feel like she's starting to land those shots again. Azurá, she is my most improved player overall. I'm feeling Z. I am feeling her. She's hot from 3. She's also defensively doing a lot of things, getting some blocks. How are you feeling about Azurá Stevens?
Azurá Stevens tonight, she deserves. I hope every player right now, they better buy her dinner.
Seriously.
From now till Wednesday, because she deserves everything. She played all 40 minutes. She was also rebounding the ball, got a few blocks, shot 2 threes as well. Very efficient out there.
Couple jump balls too. She's like fighting for the ball out there. A lot of grit.
She seemed to be the only kind of size that LA had down there, especially after dropping on De'Erica. They were not able to contain Brittany Griner at least under 20 points or so, because that was the key matchup right there. Once De'Erica went down, Brittany went on to score 29 points. So when you lose a game by 6 points, you look at the shots being missed and certain decision makings there. And even coach noted this, and we were both in studio watching this.
Yep.
There was a crucial call, like under a minute left.
Yes.
Jordan Canada went into the basket. She, according to the refs and the challenge, she was not touched or fouled.
Which I do not agree with. Right. And in my opinion, I know Diana Taurasi. DT knew what she was doing there.
I think that following one, right? Yeah.
It's like a veteran move where you're just kind of poking the bear, because she could have went off and went crazy, but she just kind of threw the ball up there to draw the foul after the successful challenge. So there was just a lot of different things that weren't going in our favor, and then we couldn't get the defensive stop on the next possession, and the game was pretty much over.
No, yeah. So Azurá Stevens definitely deserves a lot of love for tonight. Her effort was all there tonight. Without her effort, this could have been a 20-point blowout.
For sure.
It could have been. And as well, let's not forget about the all-star Nneka Ogwumike, who also put up 20 points, 14 rebounds tonight in 37 minutes. It's just very, very consistent all year long.
What is it that Nneka can't do? Nneka is... How do you think Nneka's feeling right now?
Right. Well, if you really want me to tell you how she's feeling right now, DJ, she's not feeling so well.
Yeah.
She's not so happy. Of course, we noticed her during the pregame as well, during the postgame. Right now, she was just a little. She wasn't really much talking about the game, but she was talking about the little things that affect the game,
the overall experience
that affects them preparing for the game, getting it together and traveling together. And it sucks for the WNBA.
It really does.
Really, really sucks that they got to deal with that, because even Major League Soccer, the MLS, or even the NFL, or even the NBA G League, they get a lot better treatment than the WNBA gets.
More players on the bench.
So I personally think, no disrespect to the NBA G League, because the NBA G League, it really has a lot of great talented players. A lot of players come up from there. But should the NBA maybe consider doing like, hey, NBA G League, they should maybe take a step back and put more effort and change it up
with the WNBA. Absolutely. And let's talk about that a little bit more after the commercial break. Y'all stay tuned in and locked right here to Infanity TV. We'll be right back with LA Sparks Weekly.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Welcome back to the LA Sparks Weekly Postgame Show. You are looking at DJ Tricey, and I have Fredo Cervantes in the studio with me as well. Now, Fredo, before the break, we were just talking about Nneka's, some of her frustration that she's having with the experience in the WNBA. And we were talking about kind of recalibrating the G League, which I've been watching this week. You know, the tournaments are going and we see all the attention there. What are some things that you think the NBA can do to maybe shine more light on the WNBA's roster imperfections?
I mean, first of all, we can give the NBA some credit right now for doing what they've been doing over the last few years, because they've definitely elevated the game of the WNBA. Especially, it was a big movement because a lot of I guess this new generation right now is what they're trying to sell to. Yeah. And we all know that NBA 2K, the video game itself, it's a major piece for this whole generation. And they've, after last season, they actually put the WNBA into the video game. Now.
This makes a difference. And Neskew's on the front, if y'all are just wondering.
She's going to be coming up on the new one right now. But, you know, after they were able to do that, that brought a lot more attention to the league and expanding a lot of the primetime games now. Because now you get, like today, there was a slate of like 6 games on primetime. There was either you catch it on ESPN, go to CBS Sports Network, or you go to the local channel of the team. But they are doing certain things, but they can do a lot more, especially on how important this league is. And, you know, we got a chance to talk to Nneka right now after the game, and she kind of really didn't talk about the game. She talked about what they're dealing with, like the thing that affects them and the thing that's frustrating for them, because I'm pretty sure they're frustrated right now as we speak. They're maybe not, they're maybe having to take a bus or a shuttle to a certain location to take them to another spot and maybe wait in the lobby of the airport and doing all this up and down. Like, they don't get that treatment that they deserve. Yeah. Especially how popular it's getting nowadays. And, you know, I think one thing they can do is get more NBA players, even though there's already some, because every WNBA game you can attend now, there's going to be an NBA player there, no matter who it is. Couple. Yeah, there's always there. But they got to do more in that and get some of the players to just use their voice. Even though Kobe Bryant, before, you know, rest in peace, the great Kobe, you know, before he was gone, he was talking about it as well, putting more attention to it. And I know LeBron's been doing a little bit more, but you need... And KD, got to give major props to Kevin Durant as well.
Michael Bridges, too, he's been on there.
Yeah, they put a lot of attention to this league, but we need the faces like, even though you might not see a Nikola Jokic at a WNBA game, but once you start looking at that type of player talking about the league, it's going to bring more attention as well. Expansion of the league. I mean, that, at the end of the day, that's the key thing. Expansion of the roster or teams throughout the country, because you got no team in Miami, you got no team in Denver, you don't got one in like Milwaukee.
You can expand into Canada too. They did that test game in Toronto, so I mean, we have some opportunities, but the NBA can do something very simple, like put a different hardship clause. You know what I mean? Like, if you have, there are teams like the LA Sparks, like the Chicago Sky, who are suffering right now from players who just have had injuries, and they are holding up roster spots. So now the Sparks are down to 7 players.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Like, I've had AAU teams run with more players than that, you know, like, just to be real. So from the player experience, it doesn't sound good. But let's shift the gears and talk about what we have here. What do you think the game plan is moving forward? Of course, we talked about the guards. We know that De'Erica Hamby is out, and we need, you know, our centers to our bigs to play better. Hopefully, Chene comes back. Yes. What is our collective strategy going at the Aces on Wednesday?
I mean, hopefully they can get, you know, Carly and possibly De'Erica back healthy, because without those two in the lineup and everyone else that will be out as well, it's going to kind of make it not a really competitive game at all.
Yeah, because Asia, you got to think, who's the matchup? Who's locking down Asia Wilson? Like,
and who's locking down Candace? Who's getting Plum? Who's getting Gray? Like, Gray, Chelsea nowadays, like, I wish he was back in the Spark uniform, but the way she changed the game last year, her taking the MVP home in the WNBA finals, that was a huge step for Chelsea Gray. And I don't know. I just want to bring this back to everyone's attention, because if any of you guys can go back and look at the WNBA finals from last season with Vegas, Chelsea Gray, that's been one of the most amazing performances that I've seen in the WNBA by any player. She was she was automatic out there.
Yeah.
She was so automatic that there's a reason why she took it home over Plum and, Asia Wilson. But it's going to be a scary task for the LA Sparks this upcoming Wednesday. Of course, you guys can catch us there.
Yep.
We'll be there live from Crypto.com Arena, bringing you your pregame, halftime, and postgame. And, but yeah, that's what they really, really got to do right now.
Yeah, I'm worried, honestly, and if I'm not predicting a loss, but if we took a loss, I wouldn't be too heartbroken about that.
I guess it depends on how bad of a loss it can be, because we can see it be pretty bad, because Vegas is they're really good. And I think I saw you and Michael talking highly, and I did want to bring this up, and maybe I'll throw this real quick, but I did see you guys talking highly on the breaks. Everyone can catch the breaks weekdays here on Infanity TV, but you guys were talking about, hey, Las Vegas is going to have a kind of like a walk in the park. To take the whole
seriously,
thing.
yeah.
But let's not forget about New York, man. New York is really good.
New York is good.
They're good, though.
And I'm glad you brought this up. Yeah. Let me quickly address the fan on the video who was watching the breaks and is like, how are you a Sparks fan and you're talking about... I'm a realist. I am 100% an LA Sparks fan. I'm hoping for the best with what we have, but let's be real. What are they, like 15-2?
They're 15-2. Yeah, they just lost their second game
to the Dallas. Day. Yeah, to Dallas, and I was watching that like, wow.
It's like their first loss in a month.
Yeah, and so it was only by a couple points. So to be honest, it's the finals, the WNBA finals right now. If I could look into my crystal ball and predict, it's either going to be the Las Vegas Aces, they're guaranteed in there, or the New York Liberty and Connecticut Sun. That's what I see. I do see Dallas, but sometimes they're inconsistent.
Right. Yeah, because we still got about 2 more months.
We got a while.
Yeah, we got a little bit more to go, but I think just how efficient Sabrina and Brianna Stewart, man. I mean, if I got to name one of my favorite top 3 WNBA players out there, is Brianna Stewart. I mean, what she was doing last year with Seattle in the previous seasons, and then what she was able to do this year with Sabrina, because I didn't know if they can work together, because you got two.
They cold.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if that was going to be possible, and even who was the other person that came down from Connecticut?
Is it Jonquil Jones?
Yeah, Jonquil Jones.
Jonquil,
I mean, that trio right there, I feel like they can really put it into Las Vegas, at least keep it competitive.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they can go off for 30 apiece, and maybe I don't see Vegas guards or forwards go off for like 30. I think they're all very like 20, 15, 15. Yeah, they're all like that. Yeah. So if you can kind of keep them in line, I think Sabrina and and Brianna can really do something. But I guess we are talking about
this is good. This is great for Sparks fans because we're scouting for the next next games. Like we're watching the
and
other
we
games.
do got New York coming to town in about a week or so.
Right. We got the Aces on Wednesday, so we're talking about relative content, but also we don't want to beat the dead horse, y'all.
Right.
We know that we are down. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of players who are injured. The coach is unhappy with it. So, we're rolling with what we got.
Yeah, I mean, with the 5-game losing streak, what else can we really talk about right now?
Hopefully we win.
Yeah, besides, the two bright things that we'll kind of leave you guys off with. And of course, I'll let DJ here give you guys a player of the game coming up right now. But just the excitement that we can see in Lexi and Clarendon and Carly and De'Erica and Janae. I mean, I named 5 key players right now that they're missing right now.
Who are on the bench.
They have not played, and it's very important because the beginning of the season, I thought this was going to be a different season.
Me too.
I was telling my cow early on, I was like, hey, man, this team is looking good right now.
This is our year. We're like 6-3.
I was like, they might be 3rd, 4th seed, but they're going to be up there, and especially after Connecticut lost one player to a season-ending surgery.
Yep.
I was like, they might get a chance to kind of surpass the Connecticut, but now they fell into a 4-game losing streak a few weeks ago. Now they fall into a 5-game losing streak, and it's pretty devastating for the team. And I know coach and everyone in the organization is probably trying to figure out what they can do better for Wednesday. As just we were talking, what can they do?
What's the option?
Yeah, I know that's going to be the discussion for the next 3 days until that matchup comes up on Wednesday night. But give us your player of the game for tonight.
My player of the game, Azurá Stevens. I mean, Azurá has really been most improved. Every single game, she gets better and better defensively, offensively. She's using that opportunity to her advantage. Moving her to the 4 was like the cheat code. I feel like she's like operating on God level right now. For over 20 points on a couple games back to back, Azare is my player of the game.
Well, no, definitely. So that I also agreed with you. Azare, amazing. And as well, NECA, we can't
Always
say
NECA.
no more about her. Jordan Canada keeping herself in the game, keeping everyone involved because she's one of the leaders out there. When NECA's not out there, it's Jordan's team. It seems like it's Jordan's
she's
team.
running the offense too.
Yeah,
we need to give her a nod for that.
Yeah, and as well, Zaya, what she was able to contribute tonight. But, hopefully, LA Sparks fans, I mean, you guys can all keep it together as well because me and DJ, we're trying to keep it together for you guys here for the last 30 minutes. And, everything is you can see it kind of going a little bit down, but it's going to hit a wall right now. It's going to be the All-Star break after they face Vegas. And hopefully, after that, they do travel to Minnesota to open up the second part. So
we'll be a different team before we get to Minnesota.
Hopefully Lexi's back for that game because she would definitely bring in that excitement back for the team. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we got for you guys here at the LA Sparks Weekly Post-Game Show. And don't forget, make sure you subscribe right now on YouTube. If you're watching this right now and you're not a subscriber, come on, you got to be kidding me. You got to do it right now and hit the notification button as well because you will be notified every single time we got a brand new show here on the network. And of course, always visit the website at infanitytv.com. And as well, catch me tomorrow on Monday Night Fredo here on the network, and you can catch DJ on Wednesday with us at the LA Sparks game and catch her on the breaks on Friday afternoons here on Infanity TV. We'll see you guys Wednesday night.